Hi, everybody. I had to take a couple of days off for Easter Sunday, and Easter Monday. It was really an interesting time. Saturday was great. Got on the Zoom call with the kids and all of the family. And Sunday was different, kind of not being, like I said, in a church setting on Easter Sunday. But different doesn't have to be bad. Different can just be different. So here I am today. It's a beautiful, lovely day in Fresno, California. The sun was out and I love that. And I've just come back from my daily walk, keeping up with the exercise like I said I would, and working with my sort of creative ventures and enjoying that and kind of maintaining my daily challenge. So one of the early challenges was to try to do something in your community to represent your gratitude for the healthcare workers that are in whatever city you happen to be in. We're doing a gratitude parade with the cars tomorrow, so no one is out and everyone is able to maintain social distance, so I'm looking forward to that. And one of the things that was interesting for me is that over this weekend I had a chance to observe my triggers. A couple of them, a couple of little things that I discovered really do trigger me and don't allow the best of who I can be. It doesn't allow the best of who I can be to rise up. And I thought, I need to pay attention to this. So for me, I realized that part of what goes on with being inside and being isolated and away from other people, when I do have an opportunity to be around other people, I'm really excited to just see them on Zoom or to be able to have a conversation when my husband comes home. It's nice to have some human contact, and I'm a human who happens to like contact. And I realize that when I get too isolated, that does create a little bit of a sort of a sandpaper veneer for me. I get a little prickly. It's almost like I would say that my protective coating becomes a little prickly because I really want you to be close to me, but you can't be close to me. So now I'm going to find a way to rationalize that it's okay that you're not close to me. So I'm going to get a little detached. I'm going to be a little more distant. And I was observing that in myself this past weekend, and I thought, wow, what is that? And I recognized it for what it was. And once you recognize something, you can work with it. You can do something with it. But you have to recognize it first. So one of the things that I'm going to put out there as a challenge for all of you is what's triggering you right now during this period of time when you're sheltering in place, not as around as many people as you normally are. Are you finding yourself being a little more needy than you would normally be with the people that you are sheltered in place with? Or if you're alone, is it almost difficult to reconnect when you get on Zoom or you pick up the phone? So pay attention to that, because one of the things that we want to guard against is coming out of this with mental health issues that have everything to do with people not being in community. It's really important to maintain some sense of community. That's very important. So whether it's Zoom calls, phone calls, I've just enjoyed watching the people in Italy, sort of hanging out their windows and looking at each other and enjoying hearing each other sing in the evening and them all getting together in that way. Community is important. We have to stay safe. We have to social distance. But there's a difference between social distancing and isolating. Isolation is not really good for any of us. And what does isolation do to you? So I do know that when I'm too isolated, I get a little prickly. And reconnecting is a little bit difficult. But once I'm aware of it, I can do something about it. There will be other triggers for all of us during this period of time, because this isn't necessarily what I would call a walk in the park, no pun intended, but it's not. So pay attention to what you can learn about yourself, and those things that you learn and that you can begin to work with in this period of time. Once again, they contribute to you coming out of this being just a better human being. However you choose to frame this, there is always some good that you can find. And this moment in time where the earth is breathing again, and where perhaps we are taking a break and catching our breath, those of us who recognize that this can actually create something positive on the other end, work with it. I'll tell you a little funny anecdote. I took a drive last week, just got out, got in the car and drove to see some scenery. Guess what? It's been years since I have seen bugs hitting my windshield. In fact, I remember making the comment, what happened to the bugs? When I was growing up, we would go for a drive and the whole windshield would be full of bugs by the time we got where we were going. That stopped happening a few years back. Quite a few years back. Sorry, folks. I recognized on my drive back that my whole windshield was covered with bugs. In Yosemite National Park, the wildlife are coming back out again. So there's always something good that we can find in something that seems so harsh. But let's look for the good and let's work with it. So happy to be here with you all. See you tomorrow. Bye.